Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Shipboard students enjoying a semester at sea found crossing the Pacific anything but fun when a 60-foot monster wave crashed their ship, and it was all caught on tape. As Stacey Galante reports, the crippled ship finally returned to port in Hawaii, where stricken passengers had quite a story to tell.
You can hear the hysteric screams of terrified passengers as monster waves turn an ocean cruise into a dangerous roller coaster ride. This video was shot on the high seas in the middle of a winter storm as a 60-foot wave hit the cruise ship Explorer about 650 miles south of Alaska's Aleutian Islands. Some 700 college students had just started their 3-month semester at sea program, but when the wall of water crashed down on their ship, all they could do was put on their life jackets and hold on for dear life.
Oh, that's a 60-footer there.
But these huge waves weren't part of the curriculum.
It's crazy. This is another night that's going to be sleepless for me. Beds are flying, drawers are opening, TVs are falling.
The waves tossed the ship around like a toy boat in a bathtub. The chairs are thrown and slam the students into the walls. It looked like a scene out of the Poseidon Adventure. Some students are left sleeping in the narrow passageways.
They're trying to sleep, but it's not working.
The captain warned the students not to worry.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking. The ship is not going to sink.
The books in the library were tossed around like an earthquake, and the onboard gift store was destroyed.
Our store is demolished. The counter broke off from the wall, and as it slid back and forth with the waves, it took everything with it.
The wave was higher than the ship, so the water shorted out important equipment on the bridge. 3 of the 4 engines were broken. The captain radioed the U.S. Coast Guard, which dispatched aircraft from Alaska and from Hawaii to keep a constant watch over the ship. When the ship arrived at Honolulu Harbor Monday evening, the students looked relieved to be seeing land after 5 days on the choppy sea. An ambulance met the ship, and paramedics took the 2 people with minor injuries to the hospital. Some of the students spoke to Inside Edition. 21-year-old Rebecca Leonard from Northern California shot some of the video.
And the boat was tilting like all the way over, like everyone would just fall from one side of the hallway to the other. And all of us, that was like the time when I most thought to myself, this could be the life or death situation that I will experience in my life.
21-year-old Rhea Santangelo from Rochester, New York, compared her experience to a movie.
At one point, we did turn off the lights and look at the waves, and it looked reminiscent of a perfect storm.
But 20-year-old Amy Simmons from Texas had probably the worst experience. She's disabled and in a wheelchair.
I'm a pretty independent person, but I think this is one of the very first times I ever thought, I can't do this by myself. What am I going to do?
The U.S. Coast Guard is now inspecting the ship. It could take up to 2 weeks to repair. Then it will be back at sea. And most of the students will return, not scared away by their memories of being tossed around by the giant waves.
The ship will undergo repairs in Hawaii, and then it will continue on to China. We'll have more on the adventure tomorrow. The cleanup continues on the student ship that was rocked by 60-foot waves in the Pacific. Inside Edition has exclusive footage shot inside the cruise ship where 700 students got a bonus lesson in survival. Jim Murray reports.
Oh, my God, look at this wave. This is not okay. Oh, my God.
You're watching some chilling home video shot on board the student cruise ship when that 60-foot monster wave struck. It's an Inside Edition exclusive.
Oh, my God.
Julie Turner shot her video diary as the big ship rocked in the turbulent waters of the northern Pacific.
So it's going to be really scary.
She then turned the camera on herself to recount her personal terror in the style of the horror movie The Blair Witch Project.
And we're going to be lucky if we survive. Good night. I love you all.
Julie, who's from San Diego, is one of the 700 students on board the ship for a semester at sea. And we're learning more about what happened in the hours after the giant wave hit the ship some 650 miles south of Alaska's Aleutian Islands.
First thing I would like to do is quash, crush, and otherwise kill a foul and vicious rumor.
After the wave swept over the 591-foot-long ship, a controversy swirled around the ship's captain. Captain Buzz Ratican responded to some students criticizing his decision to sail the ship so close to the Arctic Circle in the winter, so he called them in for an emergency meeting.
I was able to stay on the bridge and act calm, cool, and collected because I knew that everybody else knew what their job was. So whenever you hear somebody say, we shouldn't have been up here, I'm sorry, but they're grossly misinformed.
Tuesday night in Honolulu, we were the first cameras allowed on board the ship to film this exclusive tour of the damage. We found the grand piano flipped over and snapped apart after it crashed into one of the columns. And these windows high up on the bridge were blown out and had to be boarded up.
Buzz, I just want to say thank you once again. We love you. We want you to be our adopted grandpa.
Thank you very much.
Captain Ratican spoke to Inside Edition about his ordeal.
I would like to say how well the crew and the students performed. They were magnificent.
Tuesday night, the students went to a luau and feasted on roast pork. It was their first big meal on dry land, a celebration of survival on the high seas, a trip Julie Turner will never forget.
Oh, my God!
One of the worst injured passengers was a professor. He had 3 broken ribs and a punctured lung.